You are watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Hope you guys are having a happy Friday. If you're watching this over the weekend, hope you're having a good weekend because we got a jam-packed show for all of the real ones out there. We got some rumors on Morant and a potential trade because good old Kendrick Perkins said a change of scenery for Morant might be in store. So we're going to break that down. We're also going to talk about Donovan Mitchell. And no, it is not summer 2022. It is summer 2023. And reports are coming out via The Athletic that Donovan Mitchell wants to be a New York Knick. So here we go. Let's start, though, with this trade idea from NBA Analysis surrounding Kawhi Leonard. NBA Analysis proposed a trade that would land Kawhi Leonard in L.A. I'm going to be honest with you. Trading for Kawhi Leonard is super risky if you're the New York Knicks. And it's really a move that the Knicks have not really made so far. I feel like this new regime under Leon Rose, I guess they're not really new anymore, but what they've done has been calculated risks. And I would call this an uncalculated risk. And it's just not safe at all considering how unhealthy Kawhi is. But I do know this. When Kawhi is healthy, he is a top 5 player in the NBA. And he has showed us that time and time again. And then in this last playoff series, he was electric. The guy in the 2 games that he played in before having a knee injury, the guy beat the Phoenix Suns 1 time, and then he averaged 34.5 points per game in those 2 games, 34.5, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 54% from the field, and 60% from downtown. The guy is electric when he's on the court. Thing is, he's not on the court all that often. And when you look at the past 4 seasons, one, he didn't even play in 2021. He hasn't played more than 57 games in a season in the last 4 years. But man, is he good at basketball. One of the best perimeter defenders this league has ever seen. One of the best half-court scorers this league has right now. The guy is a walking 24, 6, and 6 and has a great efficiency to him. 51% and 41% this past year in the 52 games that he played. The trade idea that an NBA Analysis cooked up was R.J. Barrett, Evan Fournier, 2 first-round picks, and 1 pick swap for Kawhi Leonard. I love Kawhi. But I don't know if me or the Knicks are in a spot right now to where they can afford to take such a risk on a player like Kawhi. Let's say they trade for Kawhi and they do this trade. And he's hurt again and again. You're in a bad spot. So I want to ask you guys this question. Would you make this trade? Would you do it? We know the Knicks want to go out and trade for a superstar. Look at all the moves they've made. Look at all the contracts that they've handed out. Look at the stockpiling of picks. They want to trade for a superstar. And that's what Kawhi Leonard is when he's healthy. So I want to ask you, would you make this trade? Would you ship the 22-year-old R.J. Barrett, an expiring or really a cap filler, and Evan Fournier, and 2 first-round picks and 1 pick swap? Type A for accept or D for decline. Let's talk about Donovan Mitchell because Jason Lloyd of The Athletic went on his YouTube show and talked pretty much about how Donovan Mitchell wants to be a New York Knick. This report isn't all that recent, but as we get closer and closer into the NBA trade season, I feel like this is a name that will continue to be brought up. A little bit of a long quote here, but I wanted to get you guys the full transcript, I guess, of what Jason said. He said, you have 2 years of control left of Donovan Mitchell and then a player option year. More than likely, he's not picking up that player option. These guys want to get back into free agency and get their next contract extension as soon as possible. You have 2 years left. Do you really think, after all the assets that the Cavs gave up to acquire him, that they're going to run the risk of him leaving and letting him leave and getting nothing in return for him? No. You're going to have to trade him with a year left on his contract unless you get a big extension out of him. Unless you get a commitment out of him, I don't think that's happening. From everyone I've talked to, he wants to go to New York. Now, does New York want him? I don't know, but that's where he wants to go. That's where he wants to play. In 2010, when LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time, Dan Gilbert told all the people close to him that, quote, I should have traded him with a year left on his contract. And here we go again. Donovan Mitchell rumors. They dominated this show all last offseason, and maybe we are back. And, of course, Donovan Mitchell wants to play for the New York Knicks. He's from the area. He grew up in the area. You hear him talk about the Knicks. I mean, in his introductory press conference when the Cleveland Cavaliers, he told everyone he thought he was a New York Knick. So these rumors are not going to die until Donovan Mitchell signs a contract extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because if Donovan Mitchell hits NBA free agency, the rumors are going to heat back up in 2 summers, and the Knicks are probably going to do everything they can to go and sign the guy. Mitchell was a great player, no doubt about it, but he took his game to another level this year, being an all-NBA player and averaging 28 points per game with great splits, 48+% from the field and almost 39% from downtown. It's kind of just the playoff performance that's concerning for me. This is 2 playoff performances in a row when you talk about this year and last year when the Utah Jazz lost to Jalen Brunson and the Dallas Mavericks. Averages 23 points per game, 7 assists, but 4 turnovers almost, and not all that efficient. 43% from the field and sub 30% from downtown. There's no doubt Donovan Mitchell is a good player. The question is, does a trade for Donovan Mitchell move the needle for the Knicks, and are the Knicks still interested in the trade for Donovan Mitchell? What would that cost? So I want to ask you this question. Should the Knicks go out and trade for Donovan Mitchell? Should they do it? Here we go again, right? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to hear from you down below. Could a Ja Morant trade be on the horizon? Good old Kendrick Perkins, shout out to Perk. He suggested that Ja Morant could use a change of scenery. And could the Knicks be a team that sees Ja Morant out there going through a tough situation, maybe think they can get him at a discount? This is what Perkins had to say about the whole thing. He said, I think Ja Morant, it might be best for him to actually get out of Memphis and go to a different organization for his own well-being, where he can actually lock in on the game of basketball and his family. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not interested in trading for Ja Morant. No doubt, Ja Morant is a special player, one of the best point guards in this league, one of the most electric and box office players this league has right now. I just wonder if he's got it up there. I really do. I question the love and the loyalty and the dedication he has, because what he's shown us over these past 6 months is basketball is an afterthought for him, and I have a problem with that. And Ja Morant is going to get a hefty suspension for the 2 incidents that he's had on Instagram Live where he did what he did. This is what Adam Silver had to say about Ja Morant just a couple of days ago. He said, we've uncovered a fair amount of additional information since I was last asked about the situation. We probably could have brought it to a head now, but we made the decision, and I believe the Players Association agrees with us, that it would be unfair to these players and these teams in the middle of this series to announce the results, of that investigation. Given that we are in the offseason, he has been suspended by the Grizzlies indefinitely, so nothing would have changed anyway in the next few weeks. It seemed better to park that at the moment, at least any public announcement. And my sense now is that shortly after the conclusion of the finals, we will announce the results of that investigation. It's just an unfortunate situation for the NBA, for the Memphis Grizzlies, and Ja Morant. He's a young kid who's extremely talented and has made a couple of mistakes, and I just wish he would get his head on straight for the sake of him and his life. Like, you don't play around with stuff like that, and I hope he gets the necessary help that he needs. Back to basketball, the guy's one of the best in the NBA, and he's been that since he was the number 2 pick coming out of Murray State. 26.2 points per game this year. Guy's giving you 26 and 8 on 46% from the field. There's no doubt he's a great player. There's no doubt that he's an elite point guard. The question just you got to ask yourself is it worth the excess baggage? Is it worth having to deal with a guy that if you trade for him, you're going to do everything you can to keep him in a good spot and not get suspended furthermore, so you're almost going to have to babysit the guy. I don't know. And can you trust him? He told Adam Silver he was good, then 2 months later, he did the same exact thing again. So I want to close out the show asking this question to all of the real ones. Should the Knicks trade for Ja Morant? Let me know what you think. Type T for trade, P for pass. As always, we appreciate and want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. With the offseason just around the corner for the Knicks, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're putting out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We're going to be live for the NBA draft on the channel. We'll be live for NBA free agency. And if the Knicks make a move, we're going to make a video. So hit that sub button and lock us in.